What up? This is your boy LS.
This is Outlaw.
What's up, man? What's going down? What's
Hey,
it?
word, brother, man. I'm blessed to be here with you, man. Man, let's go and get this thing popping, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So, what you want to jump into first, man? It's been a lot. It's been a crazy week this week. I mean, we done seen a lot. You know what I mean? From I guess Tekashi 6ix9ine with his ongoing investigation with his team and all of that. You know, the Treyway niggas. I haven't heard Meek's song yet. I mean, I haven't heard his album yet. But that song was like one of the breakout songs that everybody's raving about because of Jay's verse.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. Just off the fact that they used that was beat track.
That's another thing too.
That's super classic, man. It's not nowhere in the hip hop world you're gonna go where that track ain't just one of the top out there. And so for them to take that, you know, you would hope it would be something dynamic, man. And definitely they didn't disappoint. You know, they didn't disappoint at all. Definitely seeing some stuff in the news though, man. A lot of stuff in the news and hip hop. Saw Pras pop up in the news this week, and just caught some word on some stuff from Juicy J. We're gonna touch on a little later, man. And definitely interested in talking about some stuff that a lot of people ain't talking about. So
we talk about Pras from the Fugees. They had a huge success with their second album called The Score, and that was on Rough House Columbia. And Pras was one of the members of the group that was not so much one of the premier artists, if you will.
No,
you know,
he was probably the least of the three. You know, everybody know Lauren. You know, she been on her anniversary tour this year for her one and only album, and everybody know Wyclef. Pras was probably the third man out, man, but Pras was definitely major talent.
Major talent.
You know, definitely making major power moves in the hip hop game. And this little news that I saw him pop up in, man, just threw me off just a little bit, brother. Just a little bit. It's kind of politically based, and with politics the way they are right now. What I saw kind of reminded me of just some stuff that go on, you know, regular in our government, man. A lot of lobbying, but they put his name out there. My man's ain't even got an indictment.
He ain't even get an indictment. Like the investigation is ongoing. Now you got the guy who he's involved with. His name is George Higginbotham. Okay,
Say that, brother.
Higginbotham. Higginbotham.
Real white man name.
Yeah. Sounds like he's related to the Foffin box, right? But you know, Pras is being investigated, you know, on money laundering, embezzlement, and bribery. You know, so it's a big scheme. And the dude Higginbotham, he pled guilty already. Yeah. You know, so Pras really ain't even got. I would say he hadn't even been indicted yet. Nothing. You know, his name is just tangled in it, and you know, we hope for the best for Pras because he is our brother in hip hop. That's number one. Number two, he's a black man, and number three, anytime somebody is a public figure, if you will, or they have some money and they're considered a minority in this country, they're not gonna get a fair shake. So if he's found guilty or whatever, we gotta chalk that up. But as of right now, you know, we're gonna say he's innocent until proven guilty because a lot of times in this country, and there's no disrespect, but a lot of times you guilty before proven innocent.
No, real talk. I mean, that's what got me about the whole situation. When I saw the article, you know, Pras' name was prominent in the title when I, you know, plugged in just because I saw his name.
Right.
But none of this stuff really reflected on what he possibly could have done. It was just he was connected to this dude, George. Right. I ain't gonna try to say his last name.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're talking about, you know, our government, and we know how money is involved in politics right now, and we dealing with money laundering and people basically lobbying to our government to make moves. The fact that his name was thrown in there like that, man, it was almost like he was indicted without being indicted. Yeah, and that's bad business for any of us out there, you know what I'm saying? But especially when we're talking about people who's made a lot of money in hip hop and who have, you know, kind of set a standard for doing things outside of hip hop, man. These guys are international.
Right.
I think of Wyclef, and I think of Pras, and I think of Lauren. You know, they're not just based here in the U.S., man. They take they got a lot of pull in different places. So it kind of disturbed me, man, that they put his name out there like that without having no real charges for the dude, man.
And the dude, George, he's a former Justice Department official. So when you're dealing with something at that level, they're always going to figure out how to make it newsworthy. And Praz is the most famous of the two.
The only reason why it was news because it was Praz.
Because it was Praz.
Like you say, it was a dude out the Justice Department. You see his name, so you know he's got to be known in their circles. They moving around. They talking about some refugees and some other stuff.
Right.
You know, no pun intended. But when you start dealing with money laundering, you start dealing with how these folks playing with their money. If there's one thing I learned from my president right now, that's just how the game go. That's just regular stuff, man. So for them to put him on blast like that and he ain't got no charges, it's just another example of how they throw black men under the bus, you know, especially a brother with money, and don't really give him the benefit, not just the benefit of the doubt, man, but just like you say, innocent until proven guilty.
We hope for the best.
Definitely.
Second thing is we heard as far as, you know, somebody in trouble with the law is your man Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, you know, I'm not a big fan of Tekashi, but he is one of the hottest dudes out in New York right now. Even though the kids love his music, but he's hot for wrong reasons. Every word out of his mouth is blood this and blood that. He's a lick too.
No, but that's what's so crazy is that, you know, you see these guys out here and you think of them as singular, but we don't always see what's behind the scenes.
Right.
And, you know, we can insinuate or we can assume, but, you know, these guys been pretty bold with their actions and with some of the stuff that's been going on.
Right.
Not just newsworthy stuff, but even stuff that's kind of, you know, in the shadows and in the back alleys and all that. That being said, you know, we know that being a gangbanger is great marketing in hip-hop right now. That's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
So, you know, when you got this guy out here and he's perpetrating rather, and he find out that these guys is not just after some money, they want all the money.
They want all the money.
They want the stuff that come with the money, the fame, the fortune, but they not the act. So now we got a conundrum, right? You got Tekashi, he living it. He got the big money, got the fanny pack full of money, showing up in and out the Gucci store. You know what I'm saying? Talking about his beefs and putting all that stuff on blast. And now the feds watching. Now we find out, not only do we know that you're not about that life, but we found out that you perpetrated to be about that life. And your boys is really about that life. So now what do? Is we snitching? Is we PC'd up now? If you don't know what PC'd up means, protective custody for the young folks. It's a bad situation, brother.
He's in a bad situation. And I look at it like this, right? They saw a bag and they got to it. That he was the bag, right? But they also was putting in that work for the kid too, and they felt if we putting in this work for him like that, we gotta at least get something out of it instead of just a little salary.
I said I'm not going to the show. Why are you not going to the show? It's 60,000. Like my rate, everybody know my rate is 100K and over.
That's like no, we actually gave you way more than that.
They call me and say, "Are you crazy? We just put the 80,000." Front end in
deposit, so it was 160.
Wow.
Hey. So I'm like, hold on, what? They said, yeah, are you crazy? But you know, they said, yo, the promoters, listen to me. They like, yo, the promoters just called me, gave me, look, these dirty ass fucking promoters called the people who booked me for the show, remember these dudes, and they said, yo, his mom lives at this address, gave him my address and said, if he doesn't do the show, go do something to his mother.
If he don't do the show, do something to his mom.
But see, that's what I'm saying. And when we're talking about entourage, you know, we think about hip-hop entourages and, you know we see with the bodyguards and the homies and all that. But for the young folks out there, for you upcoming artists, when we talking about entourage, man, we talking about having people on your team that don't just peep game, but that know game, man. Yeah, you need some muscle. You need somebody that's going to watch your back physically, but you need somebody that's going to watch your money too. You need somebody that's going to be able to read that contract. And when you're in a situation like 6ix9ine is in, where he trusting the people that he dealing with, you're already pretty messed up in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
To have an entourage ain't always a good idea, but it ain't always a bad idea. You got to look at it like this. everybody in your entourage, you got to be able to control to a certain extent. While y'all over here doing this, they over there doing something else. And you got to understand, whatever those dudes on the other side is doing and they attached to you, it's going to come straight to you. So you got to be willing to take what comes with the territory.
No, that's real talk. Just as an example, just this week in the news, Kareem Hunt, leading rusher in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs. He caught a case in February. The tape get dropped on TMZ, and he get released. And, you know, the word on the street was that the situation was a little hectic, but it's no way possible that he was supposed to be in that situation, dealing with that situation. He was supposed to have somebody else to deal with that situation. But young brothers with money, young minorities with money, you know, we got to do better at making sure we teaching these young cats, man, how to move, and making sure that, you know what I'm saying, you got good people on your team, man. That's not going to tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what it is, man. And also they got your back and willing to step in the way. That somebody got to get paid to take that bullet, man. And I ain't talking about the literal bullet sometimes. I'm talking about the rhetorical bullet, and that's real. Matter of fact, I was watching a video of Boosie, and he was talking about this, man.
We can't be doing all this shit once you get to a certain thing, bro. Like, we can't be fucking over me just cutting niggas in the head like I used to do and just pistol whipping niggas everywhere. You can't do that shit no more. Like, nigga, you barely get touch a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we need entourages. We need niggas to come fuck you up and say, I did it, Your Honor. Yeah, he said that about my, and I felt so hurt about it because I know this man a good person. I fucked him up, Your Honor. We need people like that. Man, a rapper is the most dangerous fucking job in the world. Especially if you're a rapper talking, you know, the streets, you know.
It's so real what he was saying, man, and I appreciate Boosie keeping it raw, real. I wouldn't expect nothing else, man, but, you know, to all you young rappers out there, I ain't talking about having a whole bunch of homeboys on the stage. But you need to have some homeboys watching your back. You need to have some people that you can trust, man. A good lawyer, a good attorney, a good accountant, man. Matter of fact, send your girl to accounting school, man. Get like Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Do your power thing, man, and get your mind right to make sure, man, that you ain't having these type of issues.
Meek Mill just dropped Champions, his album, right? On that record, he has Jay-Z and Rick Ross.
The name of the song is What's Free.
What's Free.
And they remixed classic Biggie, What's Beat. And I mean, that, if you know that beat, you know, you got to slaughter something with that beat. I mean, especially with the caliber cats they got on this song. And Jay-Z went directly, man, to what everybody want to talk about, which is Kanye. Him and Kanye. So I know on first listen, a lot of people thought that Jay was dissing Ye. I didn't, you know, after knowing Jay-Z, you know, you want to, like you were saying earlier, you got to listen to him a couple times. So on further review, Jay-Z came out on Twitter and made sure everybody knew he wasn't dissing Ye, but definitely real dynamic with the words. And we get a possible preview, a possible introduction of Watch the Throne 2, just based off of Jay-Z dropping his verse about Kanye, man. So what did you think of this?
I mean, he executed flawlessly. He's on his grown man. He's always been on his grown man. He's always was talking way over the hood. And you had to be a certain type of dude to understand him. He's talking about his businesses. He's talking about just everything from president, that red hat. He's rapping his age.
Now this, I mean, and not being the biggest fan, this is the type of rap that you want to listen to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you hear this is, you know, keeping it not just 100, but this is giving everybody what they need. You know, from breaking it down, talking about the 3/5 to, you know, bringing it back around and talking about, you know, started off without nothing, you know, nothing in our mouth. So, you know, you gotta respect that, man. So big ups to Jay-Z. Juicy J just hit off for a big paycheck. I didn't know this. Just found out he was one of the major investors in Core Water, who was just purchased by Keurig Dr. Pepper Company for a little over $500 million. And so, you know, we talking about big business, big checks, and that's another great example, man, of taking your money and putting it somewhere and letting it marinate, man, letting that thing flip and, you know, do his thing. And now, you know, he looking at a fat check. On the other end of that, he just posted an Instagram post talking about a interview we had with Columbia Records to be the president. Now, they didn't say about, you know, what aspect of the company that he was going to be president of, man, but it's good to see Juicy J making some power moves, man. He came a long way, man. 3-6 Mafia, big ups to 3-6. But Juicy definitely making some power moves out here in the last week.
That's our time. I thank you guys for joining us here. So once again, I'm LS.
I'm Outlaw.
And this is Hip Hop.